bless you, and then and awesome. All right, hey everyone, welcome back to MacD. Today I'm joined by Wong. He was a colonel in the Air Force. He served 22 years, so thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So let's jump back a little bit and go up to our warm-up questions. So what's your favorite fast food restaurant?
Well, maybe Chili's because my kids like it.
Okay.
But I prefer Chinese food. There's not that many fast food Chinese food places, but
Yeah, we have Panda.
No.
No, you like Panda?
No. I'd rather go to a sit-down place and eat. And there's a good place in Plano called 369 Barbecue.
Okay.
And has fantastic Chinese food. It's pretty authentic. They have the Peking duck in the windows, or barbecue duck in the windows, with whole duck, with including the head and the neck of the duck there. So it's pretty neat to see. So you don't usually see that until you go to maybe like Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle. But I was surprised to see that in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, because I like Peking duck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. What's your favorite holiday? And you can include your birthday.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
And the reason why is because family gets together.
Yeah.
I have two kids in college, and they come home like to the last couple of days or so.
Yeah.
And Christmas they come home. And it's neat to have all the family together. Doesn't mean that it's a quiet house. They're squabbling all the time. But
that's good.
That's
healthy.
We have a dysfunctional family, but that's our family.
Yeah, that's awesome. You gotta love them, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, awesome. Let's jump in. So why did you join the military? Why did you join the Air Force?
Well, I had graduated dental school. I graduated dental school from Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska. And at Creighton, I looked really young, just as young as you do.
Okay.
And I was, at that age, I was already 26.
Okay.
And I didn't want to go to private practice, graduate from dental school. So I said, what options do I have? And I spoke to a number of recruiters, and you can join the military. I spoke to the Army, I spoke to the Air Force. The Army wanted to send me to Germany, and the Air Force wanted me to send me to Florida. And at that time, I'd never been overseas, and I wanted to go overseas, but I chose to stay stateside, so I chose Florida. Okay. And I wanted to get some experience in dentistry and learn and be part of the military. Yeah. I thought it was a good option. Yeah. Little did I learned a lot more than just dentistry in the military.
Yeah, for sure. Right. So whenever you went to an officer schooling, right? For officer cadet school, something similar to that.
Very similar to that.
Okay. So what was the hardest part about leaving for you?
Leaving civilian life or leaving?
Yeah. So just like going to school, did you have any, like, was it family or just your friends?
Well, after you go to, after I graduated high school, I went to college, and then college I went to dental school. So it wasn't that hard of a transition for me.
Okay,
because I've been away from home. I've been away from home.
Okay.
Not that hard of a transition for me, but going to a new environment, and I was excited because I was leaving dental school at that time and going into the Air Force, and travel around the world with the Air Force was an exciting option to me, exciting adventure. Yeah. And though it's adventuresome, that's what it was that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. At officer cadet school, what was the hardest obstacle you faced? Whether physical, mental, both?
Wow, we had a training for medical personnel, so it's a lot different than going through basic training. Okay. We learned officership, and we had to qualify in M9 for all officers. So we didn't qualify with M16. You qualify with M9. Oh. So you had to qualify with that, and then you learn that there's the percentage of officers in the United States Air Force is not high, and most of the people and most of the personnel in the military are enlisted. And it was shocking to me to see how many people that I outrank or a higher rank. And what it's not that it is it's like, oh, I'm above everybody. No, it's like, boy, I am responsible for the people below me or with me. And that took a different mindset to get around.
Yeah.
To know that they're the officers above you and officers that are in charge of the people below them is a great responsibility. And it didn't hit me till I saw the numbers. And and at that time, in 1990 when I came in, the Persian Gulf was happening. So the Persian War and the Iraqi War, all that was happening. And it was, we were preparing to go to Desert Storm, Desert Shield type of thing.
Okay. Was there a time that you got in trouble at OCS that you'd be willing to share? Or someone else that you thought was funny?
Nah, I'm pretty much a straight shooter.
Okay.
So I think we just had some beers a few times.
Okay.
And it was fun. And you're grouped with the like-minded people, like-minded individuals who are going through the same process at the same time. And so there's the females or the males, then you just make stupid jokes sometimes. You just be stupid. And when you're around younger people at that time, we're all medical professionals, but you'd be surprised how immature that people can be sometimes.
Yeah.
Even 26-year-olds, 27-year-olds, and things like that.
Yeah, just cutting up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long was it, and where in the U.S. was it?
It was in Shepherd Air Force Base. And of course, Shepherd Air Force Base it's not far from San Antonio, Texas here.
Okay.
So it was a good training. It wasn't very hot during that time. I think it was. I'm not sure. Actually, it was. It was in July, and I'm not sure why it wasn't so hot that type of year. But it's July in San Antonio. Usually, it's very hot.
Yes.
But it wasn't that hot there.
And how long was it?
It's actually about 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks.
So it's pretty quick.
It was very quick. Yeah, very quick.
Okay. So then, you finish your officer school, and then do you go to medical school? Any medical training after that, or is that incorporated at the officer school?
Well, most of the people there have graduated from medical school, dental school, or they graduated from nursing school.
Oh, so they're medical professionals.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, so there's medical doctors that was there. There's nursing professionals there, and there were dentists there. And so we all had our doctorate degree, all the training and all the certificate, and the graduates, all those things.
Okay.
So we did not have to have additional training before we did our jobs or our professions per se.
Okay.
What we did learn was the profession of being an officer or a member of the military.
Right.
So that was the training there to be indoctrinated into the Air Force or the military way.
Whenever you finished that training, did you graduate as a 01, or were there any reasons for you to graduate up?
Well, the nurses graduated at 01.
Okay.
And the officers, like me, they got credit for college and got credit for dental school.
Okay.
So I graduated, I was a captain, 03.
Oh, okay.
So I graduated and became a captain, and then we progressed from there.
Okay. Very cool. So you went from that base to Florida?
Yes, Tyndall Air Force Base was the first duty station that I had. So that is a base where there's a number of dentists there, but it's a fighter base.
Okay.
So they flew F-16, F-15, and there was a training base also for Air Combat Command.
Okay.
Where actually they also train people to, like in the civilian sectors, they have air traffic controllers, right? So air traffic controllers, their job is to direct planes to come to the runway, and also to direct planes so they don't hit each other.
Right.
Right.
When they're taxiing and stuff like that.
Right. Well, air traffic controllers in the Air Force, and what they do is not, that's not the right term for it. What they do is guide airplanes towards each other, towards the enemy, and to engage in conflict.
Okay.
So that's what they do. And they also direct them to where they get fuel and things like that. So they control the pilots, or they can give them information to the pilots or where they are, because they can see on the ground what's happening a little bit more further than the airplane.
Okay. All right. Were you there for your full 22 in Florida, or did you transfer?
No.
Did you jump around?
Yeah, we jumped around. I had about 6 or 7 assignments.
Okay.
Tyndall Air Force Base. From Tyndall Air Force Base, we went back to Lackland Air Force Base. So I got additional training as far as being a more comprehensive dentist or more advanced dentist. And then from there, we went to Utah, and overseas from Utah to one of the nice places I went to was the Azores. The Azores is a group of islands off the coast of Portugal. It's about 700 to 800 miles off the coast of Portugal, so it's closer. It's west of Portugal.
Okay.
And it's a refueling place for the Air Force.
The depot?
Yeah, it's a refueling place. But so what's unique about it is that in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah, super remote.
It's a group of islands, but there's just one base or one airport there, and it's not that the planes fly in and land. They can. What they do is we send refueling planes.
Yeah.
And they go up in the air, and they meet the jets or the other planes, transport planes in the air, and they refuel in the air.
That's so cool.
And so when they refuel in the air, they can continue on the mission. They never have to stop on the ground.
Yeah.
They go. And that's a great advantage that we have.
Yeah.
And that technology is 30 years old, maybe even longer than that.
Okay.
But there's very few countries or nations or militaries that are capable of doing that now.
Yeah. That's true.
Very few capable.
Yeah.
I've been involved where I got to chance to help refueling around during Desert Shield, and so I was on the Iraqi and Turkish border, and in the refueling plane, and so during that time I saw different pilots from different nations come and refuel on their plane that I was on. I was on a refueling plane, and it was amazing that the skill of our partners and our service people when they refuel. The captains and the majors in the Air Force, when they refuel, there's a refueling plane. When they refuel, the planes go in this direction, and they refuel, and they hook up with the boom right here. So they go from the behind, and they hook up.
Okay.
And they hook up. So the refueling planes stay at a constant level, at constant speed, and the airplane slowly guides. The jet slowly hook up and refuel.
Yeah.
The foreign people like Saudis and other nations, other militaries that come refuel, sometimes we had to slow down and have them stay still. We guide our plane and guided them, and boom, and hook and link up. While I seen a more senior officer, like on the Air Force, their planes, the pilots have their names on the outside of their cockpit. So I could see what their rank is, like lieutenant colonel, major, something like that. One time, it was just amazing. I saw this lieutenant colonel. He didn't hook up. He didn't come this way and hook up with this. He came to the side, and I said, "You stay still," and he just docked his plane from the side. It was amazing. I would never want to ever get in a air combat position
with
him.
Yeah.
It would not be a contest. This guy was so skilled, and he's been doing it so well and so long. It's second nature to him to do that. Because all the Saudi people are going like this and trying to kind of get to the boom. And this guy was so smooth and just amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it's some of my admiration, respect for the
pilots.
The pilots. But in every services, there are people who are very good at what they do, and you don't want to get in a fight with these guys.
Yeah.
If it's a fair fight, then we've done something wrong most of the time. Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. No, for sure. So, out of all those places I got to travel to, what was your favorite place?
The Azores was a good place for my family. we had a young family at that time, and so our family grew together. And I saw the mission there, and I saw the mission where the refueling. I went to Germany, and I saw the mission there too, and also deployed out of Hill Air Force Base. It's another fighter place, and they deploy medical personnel to help out. And so the mission of the Air Force and the mission of deployment made those assignments good. So even the Azores in Germany, I enjoyed that time there. But the service and the mission, when it became a lot more evident, it made it more enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
So I was at the Spangdahlem in Germany. That was really very nice to be part of. I was in the Azores. I was with that Air Force group there, lodges, and also in Hill Air Force Base in Utah.
Okay. Did you get a chance to interact with any of the native culture in like Germany, per se?
Yeah, we did. It's funny that we lived, when you get a chance to go to different locations or different stations, you can choose, first you have limited choices. You're more likely going to live on base.
Okay.
Okay. Then when you get up in rank and things like that, and they're going to allow service members to choose to live on base or on the economy or off base.
Okay.
And so we lived off base in Germany, and our children, our kids got a chance to go to school in German school. Two of our kids went to German school.
That's cool.
So that they got to learn a lot of the culture. We had to interact with their teachers. We had to interact with their friends and their, not so much parents, but their friends.
Yeah.
It was neat to see how children and other people can interact very, very easily.
Yeah.
So it was neat.
That's cool.
So it was neat. And then in the Azores, it's a very small community. At that time there were maybe 1,500 people on the Air Force Base.
Okay.
And then everybody had to go off base to when they went shopping or did something. And so we learned the Portuguese culture a lot.
Okay.
And it was neat to see.
Yeah.
Very neat to see.
How big is the island, the main island, you'd say?
Okay, so the island that we were on, that's not in the main island. The
Oh, okay.
island that we were on is 11 miles by 17.
Okay.
So 11 miles by 17. You think you can drive that in a couple of hours or 3 hours or so, or not, doesn't sound like. But when you go on the small roads on there, and there are roads, and some are very tiny. They seem like they're one-way roads and one-lane roads.
Yeah.
They would take you 4 to 6 hours to just go around the island.
Just to navigate
11
all
by
that.
17, just go around.
Wow.
Because the mountains you have to go through, and the small towns you have to go through, and how close the buildings are to the road. But it's a smaller and lot more slow type of pace of life.
Yeah.
A lot more slower.
Yeah. Did you have any weird foods in Germany or?
Oh yeah, you can always taste food. I went to Turkey, and
Okay.
the kebabs and their different foods. It's more tasty. German food is a lot more bland, but it's good.
Okay.
So you got to taste a lot of different foods, and we enjoyed a lot of different foods.
Okay.
It was, I'd say that Turkish food. I never had lamb chops before
Okay.
in Turkey, and the way they cook it was just delicious.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, they're very good.
Yeah. Awesome.
I still look for them. If I go to a Turkish place or a kebab place, I'm going to order lamb chops.
Lamb chop
They're
kebabs?
really good.
I'll have to try that.
Well, not the kebabs. It's just lamb chops.
Just lamb chops.
Yeah.
Okay.
The kebabs are really good. So in fact, when we go to Europe, and and in a lot of the European cities, they would have just like they have Chinese restaurants. They'll have a Turkish restaurant, and you can get kebabs there, and it's fun to get. So and they're pretty tasty.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
With all the mission stuff that you were involved with, was there an act of courage in someone else that you'd be willing to share?
I saw what pilots do sometimes, and the ground people that they have to do when they go on missions, and then when they have to go on deployments, and how they have to get themselves ready, and the sacrifice they have to do to get themselves ready. And I admire those people who have a good attitude and serve their country, and they do it at the expense of their own expense of their own. They're sacrificing
Of themselves, yeah.
to help out other people and to serve this nation, to serve the people here, the citizens, and but they serve that flag, the United States flag that you have there. They serve the Constitution. They serve each other, and so I miss that. I miss that very much.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to talk about just kind of once you got out. So how was adjusting to civilian life once you finally got out after 22 years?
You don't get a regular paycheck. There's not a mission that you're serving. When you're in the military, there is a mission, and that mission has to be. To me, it was always front and center. You knew what the whole base was running towards or going towards, as it's going to be security, protection, or being able to carry the fight anywhere you have to go. So, and if that's preparing everybody for that mission, everybody's it's focused towards that. Even the ancillary personnel, the military, the medical side, every part of it is to get the active duty member, the war fighter, to that place when they need to go.
Yeah.
So I like that mission. That I'm serving the maintainers. I'm serving the people who are going to deploy. I'm serving the people that maintain the trucks, maintain the planes, and also serving the pilots and their navigators and the air traffic controllers and air weapons controllers that are going.
Yeah, everyone has their part.
Everybody has a part to do a good job. Yeah. Everybody, it's teamwork and the camaraderie of doing a job to do well. And I know it's a job to protect this nation, but it's to also produce violence on your enemy, and you want to protect those people who are going to do that violence.
Yeah.
But it's not an easy task or a job that without some thought into it.
Yeah.
While you do it.
That's good. Awesome. If you could go back and do it all over again, would you do it?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
I would.
Yeah. What words would you use to describe military life? What 3 words? Overall, your whole career.
Service.
Okay.
I just had a fun time.
So fun?
I enjoyed it. But it's service, dedication, sacrifice, and excellence in doing your job.
Yeah, just being proud of what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm very proud.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, that's about it. You're our first Air Force, and you're also our highest ranking officer on here. So congratulations. So thank you for your service, and God bless you.
Thank you.
All right.